Hey guys, it's Lee Marie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I make videos about running a small business. If that's something that interests you, please hit the like and subscribe button as it really does help my channel. I wanted to make today's video because I get a lot of questions regarding what it's like to have a contract with a major retailer. I know that a lot of the people watching may want to pitch to a large retailer, and I think a lot of you would be surprised as to exactly what goes in to onboarding with a major retailer, as well as some surprises of things you might not expect. Lots of curveballs and things that you might not be ready for financially. So I wanted to make this video to give you as much information as possible so that when you pitch to a retailer and say, they accept you and they want you and, they place this big order, that you are prepared and that you know about what might be coming and that it doesn't surprise you and, the deal kind of falls apart. I want you to have as much information as possible. So before I go into the video, just a few disclaimers. The first one, the information I'm giving you is from both my experience as well as some friends of mine who also have products in large nationwide retailers. We kind of pulled together our experiences to give you this information. The second disclaimer is, for the purposes of this video, I will be using Target as my example. However, I am not at all affiliated with Target, and therefore the information that I'm giving you is not necessarily related to Target. I don't know whether or not they implement what I'm going to be sharing with you. So please keep that in mind, that it's only for the sake of having an example store that I'm going to use Target and for no other reason. I'm going to be going through a lot of information with you, so if you want to grab a notebook and pen and follow along, that's probably a good idea. I will try to have all the information right up here so you can go through it with me. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to keep the math simple, but again, I just want you to know what it really is like to have that opening order with a large retailer so that you are prepared. Okay, first things first. You pitched your product to Target and they loved it. So that email or phone call that you've been dreaming about has finally arrived, and Target is saying, we love your product, we want it in 100 stores. Again, I'm trying to keep the math simple. Now, one misconception is that when you get into a large retailer, you're going to be in all the stores, and that is simply not the case. Most retailers, especially if you're an unknown brand, they're going to give you what's called like a region or a geographical area, and they'll start with a smaller amount of stores. Again, since Target has thousands of stores, starting in 100 is relatively small for them. Okay, so I moved over a little because I want to make space for the graphic that I'm going to be showing you. You're going to be following along with the math. So like I said, common misconception, when you first sign with a big retailer, you're going to get this massive opening order and that's it. You've made it. Your business is booming. Everything is wonderful. And while it is a huge accomplishment, and if you do want to get into these large retailers, and you do, definitely pat yourself on the back. It is not easy to do, and it is an incredible accomplishment. But I don't want you guys getting ahead of yourself and thinking that suddenly the money's just going to start rolling in, because that's simply not the case. Like I said, for the purposes of this video, you get your email from Target. They say we want to put you in 100 stores. We're going to make you a candle maker just for ease of the video. And you have 5 cents and you sell them in case packs of 6. Now, if you've seen my other wholesale videos, you will know what a case pack is, and that, retailers do not purchase candles individually or products individually. They purchase them by the case pack. For candles, I think a case pack of 6 is very easy. Retailers seem to like case packs of 6. So you are selling them 5 different fragrances in case packs of 6. So that is 30 total candles per store. If you're in 100 stores, that is 3,000 candles. So your opening order with Target is going to be 3,000 candles. And you are probably thinking, OMG, this is incredible. I've never filled such a big order. This is awesome. I'm going to burst your bubble just 1 second. Number 1, Do you have the money to buy the materials to fulfill a 3,000 candle order? One thing that is very important to realize and to understand about large retailers is they have deadlines and you need to meet their deadlines. So if they give you a deadline of probably, I would say it's anywhere from 1 to 2 months, because they're going to want to onboard you. Again, if you've seen my other wholesale videos, you know what onboarding is. It's just the process of you becoming a wholesaler for a national retailer. They have to put you into their systems, their payment systems, their ordering systems. They have to verify your insurance and all things like that. It takes anywhere from a few weeks to maybe a month or two. So once they've onboarded you, they want that order. They're going to place that order, and they're not going to give you a ton of time to fulfill it. Please don't think that a large retailer is going to say, yeah, we'll see you in 6 months. They're going to give you a firm deadline for when they expect that order to arrive in their stores. Therefore, you now have a window, a pocket of time to order all of your product in bulk, because a 3,000 candle order is bulk. Then you're going to have to make it, package it, and ship it. So, first caveat is, if, for example, it costs you $5 per candle to make. So we're selling these candles to Target for $10. That's the wholesale. The retail is $20. And again, if you want a breakdown of any of that, I've got it in my other videos of how to price candles. It's very simple. You take your cost, $5. You times it by 2, that's $10. That is your wholesale price. You times that price by 2, and that's $20. That is your retail price. So what you're telling Target is, I'm going to sell this $5 candle to you for $10, and you're going to turn around and sell it for $20. So you're going to make $5 per candle. Target is going to make $10 per candle. Now keep in mind, the retailer, they have a lot more overhead and expenses than you do. So they're not really pocketing $10 per candle. Just keep that in mind. So the first thing you need to do is do the math. $5 per candle at 3,000 is $15,000. That's what it's going to cost you to buy all of the materials to make that $3,000 order. And remember, you have a deadline. So the first question I need to ask you is, do you have $15,000 laying around? Have you saved up that much? Do you have access to that much capital? Because I think this is one of the big surprises that people get, is they don't realize if it's a big order, you're going to have to do that up front. You're going to have to make that payment up front for those materials, and it can get very expensive. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for materials to fulfill these large orders. So again, I ask you, do you have $15,000 laying around? For the sake of this example, let's say that you do, and you've saved up. You knew, because you watched my video, you knew that you were going to have to save up a lot of money to fulfill that first order. So you have your $15,000, you order your supplies, you make your candles. Now you're going to go ship them. Caveat number 2, some retailers want you to pay for shipping. Very common. Some retailers pay for shipping, others do not. So if shipping is your responsibility, you're going to have to, again, pay for it. You're going to have to either have that money saved up, or, you're going to deduct it from the money that they're going to give you. So again, for this example, if we're doing 30 candles per store at 100 stores, and we're doing them for $10, that's $30,000 that Target is going to pay you, okay? So this initial first order, it's going to cost you $15,000. They're going to give you $30,000. But now you have to start subtracting from that $30,000. So they pay you $30,000. You got to take $15,000 away to cover your cost. Okay? So now that you've covered your costs, you have $15,000 less. Let's say that Target wants you to pay for shipping. Shipping heavy candles to 100 stores, you're looking at about $2,000 in shipping costs. So now that $15,000 you had left is down to $13,000, okay? Because you've taken your cost and you've taken shipping out of the equation. Now I'm going to throw another curveball at you. It's also very common for large retailers who you've never worked with before to want or expect a discount on that first order. The discount can range anywhere from 5% to 30 or even 40% that they want to take a chance on you and your brand. This is very common. So, for the purposes of this exercise, let's say it's a 30% discount. Target is saying, I'm going to order $30,000 worth of candles from you, 3,000 candles. I want a 30% discount on that first order to give you a chance to be in 100 stores. So that, 30% of $30,000 is $9,000. So you had $15,000, you took away $2,000 for shipping. Now you have to take $9,000 away for that discount. You're left with $4,000. Do you see how, even though it's amazing to get into these large retailers and have these huge orders, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We went from $30,000, we're now down to $4,000 left, and I am not done. There's more. So now you've shipped off the candles, you've given them the discount, they have paid you. Obviously they paid you the $15,000 plus the $4,000, but that $15,000 again, you spent on supplies. So that goes to your expenses. So you have $4,000 left from this big $30,000 order. Now, some suppliers, some retailers, they expect you to participate in annual sales. What I mean by that is, say like Target or Macy's or Nordstrom's, they might have like an annual sale, or they might have like a biannual sale. Twice a year they'll have a sale. And the sale will be like 25% off all, home goods, including candles. They may ask you to participate / fund that sale. So what does it mean to fund a sale? Basically what that means is your $20 candle is going to be 25% off, which is $5 off. If you sell during that sale, if Target sells 1,000 of your candles at the 25% off, that difference of $5, so we're talking $5,000 when you do it across 1,000, that $5,000, they're going to bill you for it. You heard that right. They're going to bill you for the cost of the sale. Again, this is common amongst retailers. Not all retailers do this, but it is common. So it's something for you to take a look at. Are they going to ask you to fund a sale? And if they do, that's what they mean. Whatever products they sell of yours during that sale, whatever the discount is, the difference, they're going to bill you for it. That's what's called funding a sale. Another cost that is associated with working with a national retailer. Now, I don't want to completely scare you off of this because I know that right now you'd be asking yourself, why on earth would I want my products in a national retailer if they're just going to keep taking my money? And it's really a give and take. You have to understand that these large retailers have a lot of money and a lot of power. If you want to be in their stores, this is the cost. This is the upfront cost. But one thing I will tell you is that this will lead to a lot more money. Let me explain. Once you're in 100 stores, now your product is going to start selling, and hopefully it sells really well. These 100 stores are going to start placing orders, either weekly, monthly, whatever it is, and you're going to start generating thousands of dollars in revenue from Target's orders every single month. That is enough to keep the lights on. That is enough to invest in new product, in new equipment. So it's really a trade-off, because then once you're in the stores, you're going to be getting that repeat business. The other wonderful thing that can come out of this is if your products do well at the 100 stores, Target may, after a year or two, come back and say, you know what, your products are doing great. Let's add another 50 stores. Let's add another 100 stores. And now suddenly your product is in half the nation, which again is a huge milestone. So you really need to see it's the long game. Okay, it's not instant gratification when you're working with a national retailer. Initially, it's gonna kind of suck for you financially, because again, you're paying for all these things, you're paying for shipping, you're paying that discount, you're paying for the sales, you're paying for this. But again, in the long run, it will generate enough revenue. As long as your products are selling, you'll generate constant revenue every month that will keep your business going. And it leads to bigger and better things, more stores, more interest from other retailers who know that you're in Target and maybe they want your product. So it's definitely, yes, there's some negatives up front, but there's also a lot of positives towards the end. So the last thing I want to mention in this video is very, very important. Whenever you're signing any contract with anyone, always have an attorney look through the contract. And when it comes to signing with a retailer, what you're going to want them to look for are a few things. One, what are the payment terms? So that basically is when you get paid. So they could do net 30, net 45, net 60, even net 90. That means you send them an order, they're not sending you the money for that order for another 3 months. So that's going to be in your contract. Definitely take a look at it. If your contract has a buyback clause, run in the other direction and do not sign. A buyback clause basically states that the retailer will purchase your product. They will do the initial order. If they don't like how it's selling, it's not selling as fast as they projected, they're not happy with the numbers, whatever product they have left, they're going to expect you to buy it back at the cost, at the wholesale price, but then they're going to charge you shipping too. So if you sold them 3,000 candles and only 1,000 sold and they're sitting on 2,000 candles, they're going to make you buy those 2,000 candles back. And since you signed the contract and it's in there, you have no choice. They're going to send you a bill of what it costs for all the candles that they paid for plus shipping, and then you're going to be stuck with 2,000 candles. So that is called a buyback clause. Definitely look for it in any contract that you sign with any retailer. Always look through your contracts. Always have an attorney look through your contracts. Make sure that when you're talking to the buyer, you can ask these questions ahead of time. Hey, are you giving you a discount on that first order? Am I funding sales? Am I paying for shipping? All of these things are just so that you're prepared and so you know that they're coming and you can execute a contract with a retailer successfully. That really is the point of this video. I don't want you guys to have these surprises and to be, caught unaware and suddenly your deal is falling apart. I want you to have as much information as possible so that when the big day comes, you get that email or that call that you've been waiting for, that you are prepared for what is to come next. I hope you found this video informative. Like I said, if you could like and subscribe, it really helps the channel and it helps me to make more content like this. If you have any questions, as always, drop them in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.